Descending to about 130 meters, we reach the average diving depth of sea otters. However, they can dive as deep as almost 280 meters. Even so, this average diving depth is roughly equivalent to the height of the Great Pyramid of Giza. Diving slightly beyond 150 meters deep, we arrive at the preferred depth of the iconic green sea turtle. These creatures make the lower part of the epipelagic zone their home. However, like many marine creatures, they can dive much deeper if they choose to. If they continue to descend, they might encounter the oarfish, living at about 180 meters deep. This legendary silverfish has a long, flat, snake-like body. As you can see, their length is astonishing. The longest recorded individual measured 11 meters from head to tail. Yet, like many large marine animals, they feed on krill and plankton. The depth they inhabit is comparable to the height of the Space Needle. Further down, the deeper water is called the mesopelagic zone, also known as the twilight zone. This area stretches from 200 meters below the surface down to 1,000 meters. It gets its name from the gradual transition of the water from bright to dim. The deeper we dive, the darker the light becomes. The mesopelagic zone is also the busiest area of the ocean, at least in terms of weight. Nearly 90% of marine life resides here. Of course, at this depth, one of the first residents we encounter is the great white shark. These apex predators typically lurk about 200 meters below the surface. They can travel at speeds up to 40 kilometers per hour and can smell a bleeding creature 5 kilometers away. If they wish, they can dive to a depth of 6,300 meters. So, don't think going deeper is safer. Descending to 253 meters, we surpass the deepest human freediving record. This record was set by Herbert Nitsch, who, without oxygen tanks, with the help of a pioneering torpedo device, rapidly descended to this depth. This gave him enough time to return to the surface, all while holding his breath and fighting 25 atmospheres of pressure. At this depth, pressure affects almost every body cavity. The lungs, for example, eardrums and sinuses. Descending to 300 meters, we reach the maximum diving depth for common dolphins. However, we will find that other cetaceans dive much deeper. Descending to 332 meters, a depth higher than the Eiffel Tower, we also reach the deepest point ever achieved by human scuba diving. 2014 Ahmed Gaber achieved this feat with the help of a diving team. Throughout the dive, the support team would assist him at different depths. This is because of Gaber, unable to efficiently carry the multiple oxygens required to go back and forth. Another human diving milestone appears at 400 meters.